I love the Americans. I love Americans. And because I love you Americans, I have to give you this foreign thing. This Islam. I'm giving you a Gnostic pill to awaken you to something that looks foreign and strange to you, but I'm actually rescuing you from this prison, this archontic prison that you're in, that's draped in stars and stripes and shit, right? Because I care about the American people, and I want them to be free from this, and I want them to awaken to the barbarians within. And this is the fact. And he goes, learn some respect. You can't force people to convert to your ideology. Yes, I can. Absolutely, I can. One's if you are forcefully converted to this ideology of Allah, Cosmos, Xi Jinping. One's if it was by force. And the force in question comes from the cosmos. Of course it does. You see how many people I forced? So you saying I cannot force these people. You're saying I can't force. Absolutely I can. This is why there are nonstop wars. We got a wise person in the chat. Did you know that? We have a very wise person. We have someone who's so wise and so awakened to the way things are in the world and why they're the way they are. And he understands the root causes of warfare and tribalism and division among humanity. And his solution is more like, why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Speaking of why can't we be friends? Guess who's breaking out of their shell? Joe Sims. We're going to cover it. We have the American Communist Party. We're going to cover it. And we're going to make a critique of it. You see how the American left's stealing all of our memes? Stealing everything. Because we make a critique of it. Because we're Maoists. We make a critique of it. Man, that's some infrared shit. And they took it. And they took it from us. And now they make it. And now Hasan Piker's covering it. And they all covering it. Pay your tribute. Pay the jizya. Pay what you owe to us. We are the ones who are the pioneers. We need to understand we're about 3 years ahead of everyone. Okay, first of all, first rule of understanding infrared. We're about 3 years ahead of everyone. Okay, just about 3-4 years and ahead. Actually, I would say 4 years. 4 years ahead of everyone. Now everyone's coming around. I have to show you a lot of the shifts. I mean, big theme of tonight's stream. I'm going to show you shifts that are happening so you could fucking open your fucking eyes and see it. Gorillas and Sons, Ops on the Run. I'm going to show you guys something. Let me show you 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 something. Look at this. Okay, so both the nephew and the son are awakening to something.
Ukraine shot an Iranian commercial ship. Why is Ukraine doing this? Well, part of the reason why Ukraine is doing this is because it's in Ukraine's best interest, I guess, from Zelensky's calculation, to operate as an American proxy in the region and try to get America to join the battle. Ukraine's security service, the SBU, said that Ukrainian forces struck an Iranian vessel transporting military cargo between Iran and Russia in the Caspian Sea. Iran's foreign ministry said that the target was a commercial vessel and that the attack had killed one sailor and injured another. Mark Ames says Zelensky knows that Ukraine's only path to victory against Russia is direct NATO and U.S. involvement. Biden reportedly used to complain about how Zelensky was trying to suck the U.S. into Ukraine. Joining the U.S.-Israel war on Iran is Ukraine's best shot at World War III. Tridapar says Ukraine is not trying to just enter the war with Iran. Rather, it appears it is trying to merge the Ukraine war with the Iran war. I agree with this assessment. Do you think it'll work? I don't know. I have a policy of not conducting analysis on the basis that world leaders are crazy. But unfortunately...
Okay, the hour of victory will be upon us. When Hasan Piker finally visits Russia, frankly. When Piker takes the Russia pill, not just the China pill, he's already taken the China pill. When Piker takes the Russian pill, it's over. We are in. The barbaric hordes will breach the gates. When they start being as pro-Russia, when they start understanding Russia is just like Iran and China, when they finally accept Russia, we're in. You understand? The hour of victory will be immediate. But this is happening on the U.S. left. So we have some things going on. Larry Loomer, they, I can't say she, I don't know their pronouns. They, Laura Loomer, has gone to Ukraine, met with Zelensky. So now the right wing is behind Ukraine, and now the left is becoming more anti-Ukraine. Look at Cenk.
I'm done officially with supporting the Ukrainians' war. So it's been a long time now. I don't know, they seem like they've been at war for about 18 years now. So the reason I was in favor of it, because Russia attacked them. It was definitely Russian aggression. Yes, there were reasons and excuses, etc. Bottom line is, you attack someone like Israel attacks Lebanon, it's Israel's fault. Russia attacks Ukraine, it's Russia's fault. So number two, we had promised the Ukrainians defense when we had them give up their nuclear weapons. Okay. But now we've supported you for about 87 years in a row in this war. There's a limit to how long we can go. What if the war goes for 2 centuries? Do we still owe you, right? So now, the second issue is that Ukraine has now become basically Israel. Now, why do I say that? We're a rare show that talks about this phenomenon. It's really important. Remember, Russia was helping Iran and Syria. Israel needed Russia distracted so they could topple Bashar al-Assad. Oh wait, that happened, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
During the Ukraine-Russia war. And that Iran couldn't be helped when Iran was attacked. Oh right, that also happened during the Ukraine-Russia war. So Ukraine and Israel working together to keep Russia busy so that Israel can attack its neighbors and take.
So they always understood this. It's just that they were so libbed out under Joe Biden's hypnosis. I forgive you, Cenk. I forgive you, Hasan Piker. I felt quite alone back in those days of 2022. Now they're coming around. I'm going to talk about this.
More territory. So before that was apparent to people who were paying attention. Now it's more than apparent. It's obvious because Ukraine is literally joining the war and attacking Iran. I'm done.
Guys, it's like Surah Al-Kahf from the Holy Quran, right? Where basically we are being persecuted. And then we go into a cave, and then we sleep, and then we emerge decades later, and everyone has come around to our position, right? That's the story of the cave. Actually, in the Bible, it's the same story from the Christian stories, right? So this is the situation. Miraculously, everyone is waking up. But you know what I think? I'm going to say number one, self-criticism, because nobody makes a critique of it more than Hazaldin. Such a humble man. Everyone praised Hazaldin. What a humble man. He is he who always self-criticizes, always upfront and honest about some things they never really truly understood properly. It's like I need a round of applause all the time to show how humble I am, because I'm the most humble man in the world. And I need people to continuously give me a round of applause because of how humble I am, to praise my humbleness, if you will. Only a truly humble man should be praised as much as Hazaldin, who happens to be me, if you didn't know that. So to self-criticize a little bit, right? And you know, that round of applause, you should think about it, spamming it right now. You should think about spamming the round of applause right now. And now you should stop. And now you should stop. Please, please, please. Just, please. Please, you're too generous. Please. Please, please. I'm too humble for this. Please. No, please. I'm far too humble for this. Please. Okay, literally stop. Okay. And it's just like, come on. Anyway, guys, for being how self-critical I am. Okay, honestly, stop. I'm not even kidding. Like, literally stop. What the hell? Now you guys are being annoying. Okay. So, in all seriousness, okay, now pay attention. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. All right, the joke is over. I was just being whatever. Okay. I never understood how U.S. polarization, and I should have. You read The Rise of MAGA Communism, and I overly rationalize the American left, quote unquote, the leftists, and the right wing. Although I was correct about my descriptions, there was an over-rationalization of those two. The truth is, the most potent predictor of political polarity at this point, or sorry, of what your position is versus the imperial hegemony at this point, polarization. It's just if the Democrats are in power, then the Republicans, people who are MAGA and so on, they're going to be more counter-hegemonic. And if Trump is in power, then people who are Democrat-leaning will be going down these trajectories of radicalization. And the pipeline is just based on who's in power and who's not. Like, America's so polarized that the content of the division, that's how you know it's a real civil war. The content of the division doesn't even matter at this point, because whoever's the regime is, it's just about where there's the pipeline to radicalization. You see, when Biden was in power, the pipeline to radicalization was much easier for MAGA to do, because if you're a shit lib, you spend all your time apologizing for the regime. But when Trump is in power, the pipeline to radicalization becomes quite easy if you're on the left or if you're liberal. So there's nothing fundamentally that aligns American left liberals to Ukraine, actually, when you think about it. It was just the fact that Biden was president. Now that Trump is president, they're even, the one thing I thought is impossible, they're starting to turn on Ukraine. And I think that's so interesting. It's just about the polarization is so intense. It can make you have any position. For example, if Trump was pro-LGBT, then left liberals would start being anti-LGBT. I'm convinced. If it's all about the polarization, like if Trump, polarization goes much deeper than we thought, is what I'm trying to say. Much deeper. And I thought not because of COVID. Because during COVID, you know, it seemed like it was clear, even though Trump was president, but no, the truth is it's not so simple. You know, there is a third party populistic demographic who are waking up. But listen, you know, Vosh called it the Nazbol vortex. And we don't have to call it the Nazbol vortex, but that vortex is real. It's a vortex that pulls you in. Pulls in MAGA, and it can pull in people from the liberal left. And the vortex in question is the American People's Party. The third estate, so to speak. The forgotten voice of popular sovereignty that is not officially classified or categorized in U.S. politics. The people who are anti-Fauci under Trump, even though Trump was pro-vax. You know, like, this is all a vortex that you can't classify as Republican or Democrat. You know, it's the American people. It's the popular sovereignty, right? And left liberals can be pulled into it just like people from MAGA were, right? So that's very interesting. And everything seems to change just on that, just like that. And you know me, you know my policy. If they come around to being anti-NATO, then I am okay. I mean, Laura Loomer is going to Ukraine. Fuck that bitch. Russia is good. You want to know why Russia is good in principle? Russia's borders do not end. There's no Russia is good. Russia's borders don't end. Russia is the world. Russia is the prince of the world. Russia is a world polarity. It's the polarization of the whole world. Russia, it's like Malema said, we are Putin and Putin is us. Russia is the flag of Tartaria. If you're pro-Russia, you are good. Like, by default, you're good. And if you're anti-Russia, by default, you are bad. Like, that is one of the most fundamental forms of polarization of the world. And why? Because Russia is not a small, stupid country. Russia is a universal empire. Russia has no borders. Russia is a global influence. Russia is a soul. It's about the soul of all of universal humanity. Russia is more than just a country. You need to understand that. Russia is not simply a state or a country or the Putin administration. Russia is a form of universal humanity. It's literally one of the most multicultural, multilingual, multi-ethnic places in the world. It's not a small nation. It's not a simple country. It's a universality of some kind, right? And even if there are evil, there's no such thing as an evil true Z person. There's an evil traitor to Russia who disguised himself as pro-Russian, for sure. But Russia is good. It's a force of good. And China is, everything is different. China is good, yes, but China is not the polarity. China, there's a reason why it's easier to be pro-China than it is to be pro-Russia. Because right now, politically, geopolitically, China is more neutral than Russia is. Apparently. Not in reality, but apparently. Right? Russia, put it this way. The Mongol horde is ascendant. Russia is the gateway. The gateway. China's already there, but Russia's the gateway. If you're against the gateway, you are against the world revolution. It's about the world revolution, is it not? It's always been about that.